this.
Let's do it.
Hello, Alicia.
Well, hello. Do you know what I was just thinking? I can't believe we're still having this conversation, but the one that you did with what's her name?
Yes.
Which we're talking about today, the sex lady, that was really good. And there was 2 people.
Exactly.
Did she have a microphone?
She did have a microphone.
Okay. We're just still here talking about the quality of our sound, guys.
Oh my God, I can't. I just cannot. I just cannot do this. But okay, yes. So the sex lady, amazing. How have you been?
I've been really good.
I see that the weather's turning around and I am here for it.
Although yesterday the wind was so bad. I thought of you like 3 times. Like you would have just like shut yourself inside.
Given up. I would have given up on life. Where was I yesterday that I'm like, what is happening? Okay. Right. So all morning I was at the salon. So didn't know that it was this windy. So I get out of the salon and we're supposed to go. Well, we went to Point Eugene to go eat at Sandbar with Mireille and her mom and my mom and Dia. Anyways, and she sent me a message. She's like, we're sitting outside. So when I parked and you see the freaking flags, they're just like, yeah. So I walk in and I'm looking on the terrace to find them. And then Mirei's like, we're right here. They were like right in the corner. She's like, so we were sitting and our drinks just like flew away. The drinks, she said, you should have seen it. My red wine. She said, red wine, just like the glass just went away. She's like, and then we're like, okay, we're going to go inside because wow, there's only one person outside eating. So yeah, wind is not my thing. And then we went to the park and I was like, what is this? And I'm like, why can't it just be nice? Like, why can't it just, how I am. I'm so dramatic.
Yeah. No, I went for a walk yesterday and I had to almost like shut my eyes because the sand was coming at my face.
Shit.
And then at soccer, oh my goodness.
Absolutely not. So yeah, I thought about going for a walk and I didn't even go because of the wind. So I guess it's not just a winter wind, everyone. It's just wind in general. I'm just mad. I'm just mad at weather. C'est pas acceptable.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is on your agenda here today after these podcasts, ma'am?
Well, we have a million podcasts to do. And then I want to do another solo just so I can be a little bit ahead because this one's coming out Friday and like busy times are coming, Alicia, for you as well.
They're coming.
Summer started for like when they listen to this, summer has started for you, like as in like summer has started, but like you're pretty busy starting mid-July.
Very busy. Basically Sunday we go for our first camping trip. And then after that, it's just like go till the end of the summer.
Okay. I like that. So tons of podcasts this morning and then more video filming for our new program in September. So that's really exciting. And then I like trying to get a hit for next week. So it's like thinking of a blog email, and I want to start thinking about choosing lots of thinking today.
Lots of thinking. Luckily that's one of your favorite things.
It is one of my favorite things. And I do not have any appointments. So I'm like just here. And Dia, so our neighbor has this cute little 1-year-old and Dia has been asking like any way that I could go bring her for a walk. So yes, we went to the beach the other day and they were there at the beach. So they talked about it. I wasn't with them. I was like with Noah. Dia was hanging out with the 1-year-old and the neighbor. And they apparently figured out that today at 1:30 p.m. Dia was bringing her for a walk. And so I sent a message to the mom, like it's 32 degrees today. So if you would rather, you can come over and bring your daughter to the pool. Dia will be there. I have tons of work, but like I'll be around and whatever, you can use our backyard. So hopefully I'll be done by, and I have spin at noon. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, no. So hopefully today's work. Today is a working day.
Okay. Gotcha.
But in between, I might be able to like obviously go outside and see Dia and this neighbor. And I have Dia today. I don't have Noah. And my mom must be around today.
You'll have to at some point get in a bathing suit and shake your ass in front of the camera. That's like, is that written on your to-do list every day? Reel of my ass. Okay.
The one that I did yesterday, I literally did at 4:23 p.m. and I was picking up Noah for 4:30.
Yeah.
And I was like, just do it. It's like, just do it. The sun was out and I was like, okay, perfect time. No one's around. Jeff's not around.
Yeah.
Like I can't do that when like the family's here. Like it's just too much. Dia's in her room. Jeff is not around. It's 4:23. The sun just comes out and I'm like, it's time. And I had just seen a new trend. Game on. I just seen that new trend, like that new sound.
And
And
how's
I was
it
like,
going? How's that one going on your timeline there, Boo?
that one's going really
Oh,
well.
only 17,000 views.
Yes.
Guys,
Yeah.
right
And
before our very eyes, we are watching Jose Cormier become Instagram famous right before our very eyes. It is a beautiful sight.
it's insane. The other one is at 200,000 now. The one with this one
Yeah.
with the words.
Yeah, I like
So
that one.
clearly the internet really likes this like topic or this this
I'm really
topic.
sad that you haven't got a dick pic yet, or maybe you have. No dick
I have
pic?
not, no dick pics yet. I have gotten DMs about OnlyFans question mark. When are you starting your OnlyFans? And oh my God, I have to say this. I did not know what OnlyFans was before like April.
Okay.
When Jeff and I were in Fort Lauderdale, we were talking about how you can be famous. Wait, there were, it's like you're a celebrity.
Yeah.
Versus famous. Wait,
Okay.
two different things.
Yeah.
We were basically thinking, what's the difference between like Brad Pitt and an ex-star? Like they're not the, exist star. I don't know how to say her last name, but you know what I mean? Like there are two different types of like famous.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then Jeff told me about OnlyFans. I'm like, what does that mean? It's like, it's this website where you blah, 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 and they pay a lot of money for like pics of you, either naked. You can choose between, these are his categories. He said, you can choose between breast, bush, and feet. I'm like, oof, I cannot do feet. Like no one will ever love my feet. He thinks my feet are disgusting. He's like, the one category you're out. Guess which one?
There's two that you're out, really.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I need to show my vagina. That's basically all that I have left. Is the only, and even then,
but I was thinking bush. I mean, there's not much left there, but that's bushy.
There's nothing, no bush. They need to like no bush. Oh my God. So yeah, no. And then, so he's like, so yesterday I told him that I said, I'm getting DMs about starting an OnlyFans. He's like, go for it. This is where the money's at. He said,
it's actually insane. I mean, like, this is what I hear from people, but, and you don't have to, it's not all like nakedness necessarily.
Exactly.
And you can like start almost like a relationship with someone. They need to like pay you every time they like talk to you.
Yes.
Do you know who has an OnlyFans account that is crazy to me? Oh, you might not know who this is. Do you know who Scottie Pippen is?
And I do not.
He's like one of the most famous basketball players. He was alongside Michael Jordan.
Okay, wow.
Jordan, Scottie Pippen?
Nope.
We know who Michael Jordan is, though.
Yes, we definitely know who Michael Jordan is.
So he played on the Bulls. He was like his like right-hand man. Anyways, his ex-wife, who is like a batrillionaire, because like they were married for years and years and years. She got like half of everything, like whatever. And she's on Real Housewives. She also does OnlyFans.
Oh, she takes the time to do that.
Yeah. She says she makes like 40 grand a month or something crazy a month. Maybe it must have been more than that.
I was going to say, I feel 40 grand a day. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so Jeff is like, I say that to him yesterday morning, last night, he arrives from work. Did you start your OnlyFans account? I'm like, you shut up.
I love Jeff's humor. I really love Jeff's humor.
I do too. And it's rough sometimes.
It's like dry, it's sarcastic, and it's smart too. Like he's smart. You know what I mean? I think smart people are funny.
It's very quick. Like he like answers right away. I'm like, oof, you didn't have time to think about that too much. But yeah, no, so did not start an OnlyFans just yet. Got tons of people, tons of men that are like, I think your body's beautiful. And I was like, I don't answer it clearly. You know that section in your DMs where it's like requests?
Yes.
It's like at over 100. You know what I mean?
Like, are you just blowing up? Is it blowing up?
I just go and all I see is like, it's all men now. I'm like, yuck. You know what I mean? You've already gotten these messages for sure. Like, people looking for like a sugar baby.
Yeah.
Yes. I've had a few of those as well. He wants to give me, I think it was $3,000 a day. And my mom's like, can I be his sugar baby? I'm like, I'll send him. Cause one guy was like, I like your smile. And I'm like, we kind of have the same smile, Mom. I could send him a picture of you and see if he wants you to be his sugar baby instead. She's laughing. Oh my God. And then I'm like, is this, wait, like, and I'm like, you're not even close to what people Like I have 14,000 followers. Like people have like 500,000, millions of followers. Like imagine the shit they get from the creeps. Know what I mean?
I know. Well, I don't know if maybe people feel like their chances are better because you're like a normal person and not like,
Yeah. Someone asked me if I was happy in my marriage.
huh?
Yeah.
It's nice
At
that they
least
ask first.
exactly. Because you remember that creep that did not ask me if I was
Sure
happy in my
did.
marriage?
Sure did.
You guys.
This brings me back to Neil sending a message to Kourtney Kardashian on Instagram and being genuinely upset that she didn't answer him. Like he was like, actually, like, she didn't even answer me. And he was like, what I said was so funny. She didn't even acknowledge it was funny. I'm like, Neil, do you know how many messages she gets in one day?
Oh my God. I like this.
What a guy.
That's funny. What a guy. How is Neil? How is he doing?
He's good. He's rocking daddy daycare.
Okay.
Because I've been working a lot to try and get ahead for our 3-week trip. He seems only mildly upset by it.
I mean, it's different for him, but he needs to, I feel like he understands, but you have to remind him, like, I need to work so that we can live this amazing life.
Yes. It's our job. I find is so hard because we have so much flexibility. It's like people think we don't have to work. But I also, do you know what I was thinking yesterday? I thought this, and I know you've thought this before. Also, I'm done apologizing for working because I fucking love working.
I love working.
I love what I do.
Yeah.
So I love working. So I'm not going to apologize anymore for working.
Absolutely not. No, I agree. No, absolutely not. I think the reason why we feel we need to apologize is because we're on our phones, and most people on their phones are being either disrespectful or not being present in the moment. And I'm like, I'm working right now. Like, I'm not just scrolling on Facebook wondering what my neighbor's doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm actually like doing work. This is a part of my work. And that's what's hard for people because they're so used to like workspace is like a different space, but we can literally work at the pool. We can work at the restaurant, we can work anywhere. And I know we have to find out our boundaries, but that's just it. I need to find my own boundaries. They're not up to you, So, and it's even harder for like the older generation. Like I can tell like my mom's like, oh, she's not even listening. Like sometimes she'll like be talking to me and I'm like, I thought the conversation was over. So I'm like now on my phone, And it's like, oh, she's not even listening to me. I'm like, Mom, like you're playing Candy Crush when you're on your phone. That's not what I'm doing. You're like, this is me working because I have a full-time job, yet you see a lot of me. Like I tell her, like, don't you find that you see a lot of me and that I seem like I'm not working a lot, but I actually have a full-time job. So imagine
if we were humans that like left the house and then came home.
Imagine the shit we could do.
Oh,
sometimes I think about that. Like imagine we had a penis and we could leave at 8 a.m. and come back at 5 p.m. and like
with
society.
Zero guilt.
Exactly. I'd be like, I was a bad mom today. I didn't see them today. So like, it's all freaking hard, man. Okay. Let's go with that. So you listened to the podcast with Kelly. What did you think? Like, what was your first thoughts? Like, what did you think of her and like her language?
I thought she was great. The podcast was not long enough. We need quadruple the amount of time.
I thought of that. And so what happened is we just wanted to figure out Zoom, right? And we only have 40 minutes. So before we figured out her sound and my sound and whatever, it took 10 minutes. So we only had 30 minutes. And I agree. At least though, I'm like, you know what? People can go listen to the sex ed part 1, part 2, and really get the info from her. But it's that conversation piece that's fun because she's just putting out info. It's the conversation. So let's give the people what they want through this conversation then.
Go for it. Let's. And you know what I was thinking also when I was listening to it, like, it's just that I'm so proud of you that you were like, you just attack the things, you could have just easily been a part of the group of people that are like, I just don't want to have sex with my husband. You know what I mean? It's like that's a huge culture thing. Huge.
It's massive right now.
Massive. And you were just like, I just don't want to be that person.
I know. And I think that, we do, it's like, okay, like when the pandemic hit and everyone was like, it was this big shift of like, we don't care anymore. We're not trying to, be healthy. We're just going to like stay home. When it first hit the first 2 weeks and like, I didn't want to be a part of that, like, fuck it moment. You know what I mean? Like, and so, but it's the same, like when I hear, women, or when I have conversation with women that like, I know they're a part of that like group, that, cause that's a thing. And I told her on the podcast, I'm like, that's massive right now. Did you know, Kelly? Like it's a thing. Like there are memes
Oh,
about
yeah.
like women not wanting to have sex with their husbands. And it's like, let's all make each other feel better about the fact that we're all feeling the same way. But then I know that there's more like me that are like, but I'd like to want to be better. I'd like to not feel like I'm broken.
Yes.
She does a really good job on her Instagram as well. Like that. I like how she explains what she does, like stop shooting all over your sex life. Like, so I feel like we're doing the same with your weight loss. Like we're really like stop shooting all over food. Like we're really showing what we do. And I feel like when I look at her Instagram, I'm very attracted to what she has to offer, which is like making me feel like I'm not broken. And that's what we do with weight loss as well. Like I'm really connected to her message with weight loss. Like
I really connected her message to just like take control. You're the boss, ownership. I also really resonated with the whole, like, just the whole orgasm inequality thing is I'm upset.
Okay, it was massive. Like, I don't remember the percentages, but it was like 16% of the time women.
It's like it goes in relationships. So like, homosexual men, no, heterosexual men, I think are the highest percentage.
98% of the time they have an
They're
orgasm.
so freaking easy, eh? So easy. Like that's a high percentage. And then I think it was like homosexual men maybe. And then it was like homosexual women. And then it went to heterosexual women. And then it was like insanely low if it wasn't with a long-term partner.
It was 7%. Only 7% of the time women have an orgasm in a non-relationship. Moment. It was like, oh my God. Like,
and a few things like where I'm mad about that as society, women are like you're like not supposed to be sexual until you're like married.
She said
it's
that.
Like, right? You're like a slut. Like if you're having a lot of sex when you are in your
not
20s,
married,
not married, whatever, like you're a slut. You're bad.
Yeah.
Then you get married and you need to have all the sex.
I agree. It's like, so like that part is like, so, there's a word that's not nice, like hypocritical, like as in like, oh, before we want you to behave a certain way. And then once you're married, you should be just like, so like, and it's always with the same men. Like, it's very interesting to me.
It's like suppress your sexuality and then like, now have sex. Now you can. Yeah. And just also what's not fair is the whole routine that is like normal, which is like, oh, the man has an orgasm. Done.
It's done. She said that.
Why is it done?
Exactly. It's like once he's done, it's over. Like, and she's like, I love that. She's like, you could decide that it's not, I also believe that like I love that she says, you're not broken. Just like we say, you're not broken. If you haven't figured out how to lose weight, keep it off, be happy. But we're also not just like, okay, stay the way you are. Then it's like, here are the steps to actually figure this shit out. So I love that her whole brand is not just like, you're not broken. It's normal. You don't want to have sex all the time. Like, just do your thing, whatever. She's like, here is how you get better. Here is how you figure out your way here. So that's what it really resonates with me. And that's why I was really connected to her message when I listened to her. And I loved her message because I wanted to be in control, and the mindset piece. Like, she's like, sex lives in the mind, like the orgasm lives in the mind. Like, you need to make sure that you are working through what needs to be done. And people don't want to work on their mind, Alicia. They're willing to buy the pill. They're willing to give me something to help me want sex, like a pill that makes you want sex. Arrête. You know what I mean? And it was like, she's like, they'd be willing to pay for a product to help them fix when it's really how they think. Like, and I was like, oh my God, like, hello, related to weight loss. And so it's not as sexy when I'm like, oh, you're going to have to work on your mindset. You're going to have to work on your thoughts. It's the only way that you get to that point authentically and almost naturally. And it's the same for weight loss, but we're not willing to do the work through our brains. It's like that part is just really difficult for us.
I think part of it is like people are not willing to put in the work. I also think part of it is that people don't value it. They don't value the difference that can be made with your mind. They think it's frou-frou-fra-fra. They're like, yeah, but like when we talk about weight loss, when we tell people that that's what they need to work on, that's the secret. Here's all the secrets, we're giving it to you. They are just like, but what do you eat for breakfast? They're not even taking that part in. I don't think people value working on their mindset enough. And that's part of the reason why people aren't doing it.
Do we feel like people are struggling with, well, I think that society focuses on like what they look like, what it looks like from the outside. And so let's say you're having sex once a year. Okay. And you're like, from the outside, that doesn't look good, like as in like, maybe you wouldn't say that publicly because, like, oh, people would say that's not enough. Honestly, I would be like, whatever, if both you and your partner are happy with this and this, like, I could not care less. But then it's like they don't want to fix the real, like, even for weight loss, it's like they're not even having the honest conversation about what's really happening. Like sometimes I listen to podcasts and I hear the language. People don't even hear their own language, but I hear it that they're like, you just said you're so sexual, you want to have sex with everyone, and you don't want to have sex with your husband ever. There is something here that needs to like, there's something here, because there's a difference between like, I would have thought that I'm not a sexual person, but like, and I said that on the podcast, and I said, but I'm also like not, what I knew was not right or okay, but I wouldn't have gone and had sex with every single other person other than my husband. It was like, I don't want to have sex ever. Why? You know what I mean? So then I wanted to work on that. But I think that that's a different intervention and it's a different conversation when you want to go and have sex with everyone other than your husband. Like, that's like, oh, we need to work on that, that intervention or that conversation. And I think they're like, oh, well, it's just normal because most people don't want to have sex with their husbands. But why? I think the reason why is what you need to look into. For me, it was like, I needed to go into my why. If you're talking shit about your husband and you want to have sex with the neighbor, that's another why. That was not my why. You get what I mean? I don't want to have sex with my husband because I want to have sex with my neighbor. That's different than because I don't feel like it. I'm tired. Like there are different reasons why, but we cannot, but we're all bonding with don't want to have sex with our husbands, but our whys are all different.
Yes. And some people just don't want to work on it at the end of the day. And like weight loss, like I can tell you everything, I can sell it to you, I can show you how great it is if I have a good sex life, but like if you don't want to work on it, then there's not going to be any work. Something she was talking about when she was talking about like just that, more of the time men want it more than women. It has to do with the testosterone as well, like, and also the success rate. I'm assuming
she calls it desire mismatch. I like that.
So, and then she was just talking about how one of her patients felt like a hole. And I know it broke my heart. And
have you ever felt that way though? I have in my relationship. Like I've been like, oh, I just feel like, oh, I'm just here to fill that want for him,
Yeah. Yes. And then, and yes, not so much like the whole part, but just like that I was there for someone else's desires. And she was talking about that. And I was like, no wonder sometimes you're just like, it's like someone else needs me. And like when you have little kids and like also our job is very like people need us. People want us to like help them. Do you know what I mean? That can be quite obviously love it, but that can be quite draining. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I was like, that clicked for me because I was like, no wonder, like, when the kids were really little or whatever, when everyone needed me and was touching me all the time, I didn't want to have sex as often as now because literally it was just another person that needed me. And it was like about their needs sometimes. And sometimes it is. I mean, that's a relationship. You know what I mean? Like when I take care of the kids and Neil goes out with his friends, that's his needs and I'll do this. You know what I mean? That's a teamwork.
Yeah. No, but I know what you're saying.
Most of the time though, ideally it's a teamwork.
Yes, ideally. I like that. I think it's most of the time. There are times because it's the desire mismatch. And so you need to find your, is it once a week? Is it, once a month? Is it whatever? And that's where you match because honestly, I don't think that even for Jeff and I think you'll agree, like most couples, like they're not like right on the same page of like both of us want it once a week or once every 2 days or whatever. But since I'm over here and you're all the way over here, we're going to meet here. And there are times where it's just, that's what being in a relationship is. So when we are in the middle, I'm going to make sure I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like maybe the desire is not there, but then it's there once it's started. And she talked about that. Like, and a lot of people say that like, once I get started, It's bitter. A lot of people say that, but she's like, when it hurts, we were talking before and she's like, it's when people are like, even when it started, it hurts. It like, imagine when you're not even having enjoyable sex, like that must suck. You know what I mean?
And also just her talking about like, and she's so right. Cause she's a urologist and urology is like, so, I mean, in general, doctors, the percent is higher men, especially like specialists usually are men, because men are more willing to go to school for longer, right? The women are like, gotta have that family here. Like men are going to school for these specialists to be surgeons or whatever for a long time. Anyways, so are women now, but that urology is a very male dominated field. And that's like where the, what's the blue pill? Viagra come from. And it's like all these male urologists are like fixing male sexual issues. And she's like, who's fixing the female sexual issues? She's like, I thought it was the gynecologist, but they're freaking busy taking out uteruses and babies.
Yeah.
So it's not the gynecologists that are really, you're not really having that conversation maybe with your gynecologist. So she kind of like saw a space for it.
Yeah, she saw a space for herself because she's like, okay, well, you're taking care of the male, you're taking care of the male want and desire and function. What about the person he's having sex with? Why aren't we taking care?
Kelly Casperson,
yeah,
MD. We'll put her link, guys, in this podcast so that you can go creep her. And she just put out a book, eh?
Yeah, you are not broken. And I feel like that's perfect. If you're someone that really likes to sit and read, I'm sure it's an amazing book. She said there was a lot of what I saw, all the like kind of like the themes at the beginning, like what she's going to talk about in the book. I think it's great. I think that people, because this is a part of your life, and that for me, and I said that in the podcast, like you can go and listen to our podcast as well, you guys, if you missed it, but I just knew that this is something that I'll have to do for the rest of my life. And it was like, that's why I'm like, I cannot keep going this way. It was like, I just like needed to like figure out a way for me for that piece of our relationship, because everything else for me was like A1, like this cannot be better. And then it was like just this one piece. And then you kind of get stuck into that culture, into that group of like, well, you've been together since you were 16. Like he's your only one. Like that's just normal. And I'm like, no, I don't think it should be clumped into this, like what the relationship is. It's just while I'm having sex, like how can we make that activity better and more Jose friendly? And so it was like that for me. And like, what does that even mean? Like, I don't even know what that means, So it was like really creating that. And it's like uncomfortable sometimes, to even like say it out loud or to think about it.
It is uncomfortable. Like having a conversation with your spouse about your sex life is, there's no question, uncomfortable. And, having, making a compromise and telling them what you like and don't like that can be hard.
I know. And I love
what else I was listening to, which was interesting. This was like a couple months ago. I was listening to the podcast with Romeo and Ryan on Cat and Nat, and they were talking about having sex, obviously. And they were talking about, I don't know why, but basically the way they described, I don't know why they were describing, but the way they described like how it works in their bedroom, they always get their partners to have an orgasm first, and then they do their thing.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure not always. I'm sure there's situations where that is just not happening, but that's their priority.
Yeah. And I'm just going to say that is the thing in my bedroom. Like that's how we know that this is the next step. There are steps and this is how it works. And then we needed to figure that out. I just feel like, and I'm so lucky, and I didn't know, but like Jeff is actually really open in that conversation. Like he will talk about all the things. He will be like, what, like he is just, that subject does not make him shy, does not make him awkward. So I understand maybe your spouse is not the same, but at the end of the day, like if you want this to be better, like this is a part of like who you are as a couple. I don't know. I feel like, and maybe it's not an issue in your couple right now or in your relationship. And you're like, I don't know what you guys are talking about, but like I really believe this is a like hot topic.
There's also women that have never had an orgasm.
Absolutely. And I was one of these people for years.
I think you need to figure it out yourself. That's my personal tip to anyone that's listening who is like this. I think you need to figure it out for yourself first, and then maybe you can help your partner figure it out too.
Absolutely. Like if you guys would know my evolvement and like how I have progressed through like in my sexualness, you'd have been like, oh my God, like I went from nothing to like, I thought I was just broken for sure. Like you are not broken. I thought I was broken, like to the point of like, I need to talk to a doctor. Like there's something wrong with me.
I remember those conversations. those conversations.
Yeah, exactly. And I am not broken, everyone.
Not broken.
not broken, just needed to get out of my comfort zone and really needed to like figure that out and not feel weird about it. It was like, I don't know why.
And be willing to put in the work. At the end of the day, if you want anything, if you want to create impactful change in your life, whether it's having orgasms, whether it's weight loss, you're going to have to put in the work.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I'm going to sit here and say, if you are listening to this and you're like, oh my God, I think I'm broken in terms of weight loss. Like I cannot lose weight. I've tried everything. Like you are not broken. Like we can say this about your weight loss journey. It's just, you haven't figured out your way. So I had not figured out my way to orgasms. And now I have, you guys. You're welcome.
I hope people leave here motivated
for all the things. Okay. This was a fun chat. I loved it.
So fun.
Okay, everyone, you know what to do. Right now, it's middle of summer. So we're like working really hard behind the scenes. We're trying to be on social media as much as we can, but we're also trying to be with our families as much as we can. So we're really prioritizing Your Way Weight Loss, the program, and our personal lives, honestly. And we're giving everything else that we can on social media so that you can keep knowing that we exist. But we really, really highly recommend you follow us on Instagram and that you join us. Like if you want to not feel broken, you have to put in the work. And that's the type of work that we do at Your Way Weight Loss. We create a better relationship with food, and we make you realize that you can create your own way with our strategies and our advice, of course. So follow us, do your thing. We also have a show, Choose You. It is in less than 2 months, which is insane. So it's like basically like late night talk show hosted with J&A, but Neil and Jeff are also a part of the show this year. And you can watch that virtually or be at the Capitol in Moncton. So wherever you are in this world, find us and purchase that ticket. Our link tree has all of the things, right? So it's like, I think it's the best place to send them at the end of the day. You know that we have an email subscriber list as well, where we send 3 emails a week, and they're like super fun, juicy, also free shit. So like, it's just a good time. So do what you got to do after this podcast, everyone. Okay.
Think further.
Yeah. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.